What is up, y'all? My name is Ike. I go by You Know It's Ike, and I'm a little under the weather, but the show must get the early worm. Anyways, welcome back. We're getting right into it. This is how I created Insane featuring KALFA. Shout out my brother, KALFA boy. And this is from my latest project and now my feature presentation, Volume 1. Let's get to it.
I'm about to blow up an explosion. Hit the floor.
So I was going for like a really dark and eerie vibe for this song. This is kind of like a sequel to a previous song of mine called Asleep. I don't know if y'all remember that.
I can't fall asleep.
But it was basically about like not being able to fall asleep and having all these crazy thoughts. So this is kind of like the second part to that. Like when I can't sleep at night, I feel like I'm going insane sometimes when my mind is running. I wanted to encapture that feeling through this song. So I started with this super dark synth. So that like delay effect is built into the synth itself. It sounds like a second note is being played every other second, but that's just built into that synth. I did a lot of filtering effects on this project. You'll see some of those cuts and I'll show some of them, but there's a lot going on in this song. So I'm going to try to keep it brief, try to get through everything real quick. You hear that filtering starting right away. So it gave room for my vocals to have a space to sing real sad like. And then I do a cut to emphasize this bass effect that I created. It also like emphasizes the line that I'm saying in my lyrics. After that, it adds on another synth on top. So it basically does the same exact chords as the previous synth, but it's like something that sits on top of it with a little brighter sound. From there, it goes into the pre-hook. Keeps the same chords, but I switch up the synth once more to another like dark feeling one. On there, I increased the volume as it went to kind of build into it. And then I also had this synth on top. That's really there just to make it feel like even more eerie. Building into it, I have another bass that I brought in. I started bringing in my drum pattern here. You really hear it during the hook, but during the pre-hook, I have more like filtering and stuff going on that is like slowly building in before the actual drop. So this is kick and clap that I have for it. And then I had these snare rolls that I created as well. So it builds up right into the hook section where all the filtering kind of opens up everything. So I still had the same chords and synth from the pre-hook. I added this bell-like synth on top. And then I added another synth that's like this gritty sound. And then the bass is even louder now. Super simple though. Now this is where the drums get fun. All the filtering is off coming from that pre-hook, and then you have the same kick and clap and that snare roll. But I got a lot of other stuff going on with it. This chant right here. I have these hat rolls going on. Then I had these other open hats playing along with the close one. In the second section, I add, once again, another synth. There's a lot of melodies going on in this. It's just crazy. Like, it all works together so well, I feel. Even with us, like, singing another melody on top, there's just, like, all these, like, counter melodies going on that are supporting the chord structure that's going throughout the whole song. So this is like a faded piano type sound. So many melodies, but then I break it back down for KALFA's verse right here. So we keep the same wobbly synth that was from the hook. And we keep that new piano going with it too. I have some of the drums still going on. I took out the closed hat so that it was a little more simple. On the second half of his verse, I added the bell sound back. And then I added one of my like bass bendy sounds to emphasize what he was saying. And then coming out of his verse into the pre-hook, I start filtering out everything again to build up the hook one last time. one of those eerie synths along with that, have a similar cut to where mine is, and then we go right back into the hook. So during that time, I let him sing by himself for his hook, and then I made this like kind of big cut. And then that's where both of our voices come in on that cut. It's like, I'm going insane by the morning. And then we wrap up with that. So that's basically it. This was super fun. We made this song in like a day. I was cooking some food. I have the original voice note. I'm cooking food. You can hear it cooking on the stove. I've got this crazy idea like in my head. And I heard the like whole verse and hook. And I literally got out my voice recorder before I could, like, I'm flipping food on the stove. So I sung out the whole thing, finished making my food, ran to my room, made this beat that I could hear in my head. I sang the idea real quick, and that was my demo. I didn't even plan on using those as the final vocals, but the way I recorded that demo was so good, like, and so emotional that that's what ended up in the final song. And so then I literally showed VP or KALFA, and he just went to his car and like played it over and over and over again, wrote his thing, and the next day we had it recorded. So super quick turnaround. I think it was like one of the more fun songs that I did on the project. Doing the music video as well was awesome, so make sure to check that out on YouTube. And that's really it. So please make sure to check out my project and Now My Feature Presentation Volume 1 on all your favorite streaming platforms, and I'll see you again next time.
I'm going insane by the morning.